My daughter's tiny hand gripped my pinky that night, her fingers curling around mine, as if I were her entire world, and maybe in that moment I was. But when I looked across the table, the eyes staring back at me were cold, distant, and nothing like my own. I already knew that, yet I had no idea just how deep the cruelty would run. The dinner was a noisy blur of wine, laughter, and clinking glasses, but her voice cut through it all like a razor's edge. "Too bad your baby doesn't look like you," my sister-in-law sneered, smirking like she just landed a dagger. My wife laughed, too loud, too fast, too rehearsed. "Maybe I have a secret," she teased, and just like that, the room erupted. Chuckles, raised eyebrows, jokes fly like knives disguised as butterflies. I smiled, calm, deliberate, like I'd been waiting for this exact moment. Slowly, I rose from my seat and reached into my jacket pocket. "Since we're sharing secrets," I said, and handed her a sealed manila envelope, heavy with consequences. "Open this." The room fell into a silence so thick it pressed down on every breath, every heartbeat pounding like a hammer in my ears. Her hand trembled as she peeled the seal and unfolded the contents. One glance, and the color drained from her face, as if someone had pulled the plug on her very soul. "Let me take you back. We met in college." She was magnetic, sharp-tongued, quick-witted, breathtaking in a way that knew it. I was steady, reliable, the kind of man you build a life with when the parties end, the kind you trust to hold a foundation together. I loved her fiercely. Brick by brick, I built a home. I carved out a career. I offered stability. She wanted freedom and passion. I thought safety was enough. I was wrong. Safety is only good until boredom creeps in. It began with small things, a late-night text, a growing distance, a sudden obsession with the gym, a new password on her phone. Then came the cold distance, physical and emotional, as if I were sharing a bed with a stranger wearing my wife's face. But I didn't confront her. I observed. I paid attention to patterns, absences, the faint scent of a man's cologne that wasn't mine, the way she smiled at her phone when she thought I wasn't looking. Love doesn't go blind. It just chooses to pretend it doesn't see, at least until it's ready to face the truth. When she told me she was pregnant, something twisted inside me. I wanted to believe. I needed to. But doubt is a slow poison, eating away at you, cell by cell. I waited until our daughter was born, then took the first step, a DNA test. Quiet, private. The result hit me like a freight train. 0% probability. I was a father. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat with it. I watched her hold our daughter, her daughter, and lie every time she said, "Our little girl." So I planned, not with rage, but with cold precision. I copied files, bank statements, phone records, hotel bookings, every breadcrumb of her arrogance. I found him, Brian, real estate agent, married with 2 kids. They met during house hunting. The irony wasn't lost on me. I didn't confront him either. I had a better plan. I started moving money quietly. Half of our joint assets transferred into a separate account under my name. Legal. Clean. Then I stopped funding her lifestyle. I let the overdrafts pile up. Let her debts grow like kindling waiting to ignite. Next came the legal groundwork. I hired a discreet lawyer, drafted wills, custody plans, and divorce strategies. I built my case with the precision of an architect drawing blueprints. The envelope contained everything. A printed DNA test, photographs of her and Brian leaving a hotel, bank statements proving her girls' trips were anything but innocent. I even included a notarized letter stating my full knowledge and intent to seek full custody on grounds of infidelity, paternity fraud, and emotional abuse. But I didn't just want her to fall. I wanted her to feel the collapse in front of everyone who once laughed at my expense. So I waited for the perfect moment. A family dinner, her stage, my stage. When I handed her the envelope, I saw everything crack behind her eyes. The mask shattered. She looked at me like I'd shot her, not with bullets, but with truth. She stammered, tried to speak, but couldn't. Her sister whispered, "What's going on?" My father-in-law frowned. My mother-in-law started to cry. I looked at my wife one last time, then at my daughter. "She'll grow up knowing the truth," I said. That was my promise. Then I walked out. The divorce was swift and brutal. Courts don't take kindly to cheaters, and they take even less pity on paternity fraud. I won full custody. She fought, but lost. Brian's wife filed for divorce a week later, taking the house, the kids, and half his commissions. Karma was fast, and she came with receipts. My ex moved into a one-bedroom apartment. Her social media went quiet. The silence was delicious. As for me, I sleep peacefully now. Not because I won, but because I waited. I didn't react. I responded. With truth, with strategy, with finality. They thought I was weak, that I'd swallow betrayal with a smile. They forgot one thing. Silence isn't surrender. Sometimes, it's the sound of blade being sharpened. And when it finally strikes, it cuts clean.